All right, let's take a look at this relation, function, and graph question. It comes at number 8 on the CSEC paper. All right, so it says the function f, g, and h are defined as follows. F of x is equal to 4x minus 1. G of x is equal to x squared minus 5. And h of x is equal to 3 raised to the x. Find g of x minus 2 in its simplest form. All right. So if we're going to find g of x minus 2, what we're going to find is that we're going to go for the g function. So let's go for the g function. So the g function says that g of x is equal to x squared minus 5. So that's the g function. What we're going to do, though, we're going to answer this question by simply plugging in x minus 2. We're going to plug x minus 2 where x is. For example, wherever the x is, it's going to be x minus 2. Then we're going to square. And then we're going to take 5 from it. So as you could see here, we're basically just substituting x minus 2 in the g function where the x is. Now let us work out what is x minus 2 all square. Let's just do it right here. So x minus 2 squared simply means that x minus 2 was multiplied by x minus 2. With this said, there are diverse ways that we could do this, but a simpler way is just to find it out, where x will go with x there, and then x will multiply by negative 2. Negative 2 will multiply by x, and then negative 2 will multiply by negative 2. So let's write down what we would get. When x multiplied by x, we're going to get x squared, then minus 2x, and then when minus 2 go with it, x again, we get minus 2x, and then minus 2 times minus 2 gives positive 4. So when this is simplified, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4. So basically, this is what we have here, x squared minus 4x with a plus 4. And remember that we have this plus 5, this minus 5 after, and we're just going to put it down, all right? So let's put our minus 5 here. When we simplify this, we'll get x squared minus 4x, then negative 1, right? So that's what we'll get when we simplify this, all right? So that is the first part. Let's take a look at the next question. The other question is that we're supposed to find the inverse of f of 11. In order to find the inverse of the f function, we need to take the x function, right? So let us get the f function. Let's write it. So the f function says that f of x is equal to 4x minus 1. Now, if we're going to do that, we're going to let y equal to f of x such that y is now equal to 4x minus 1. So as you could see, this is just a statement to clarify what I'm about to do. I'm putting y for f of x here. Remember that whenever we are finding the inverse of a function, we're going to switch x and y. So the y becomes the x, and then where the x is, it becomes y. So you could see we just interchange those two variables there. Lastly, we're going to transpose to make y the subject. So x is equal to 4x minus 1. We're going to add 1 to both sides so that we would get rid of that negative 1 on the right side. So on the left side, I have x plus 1, and this is going to give me 4y. Now, x plus 1 is equal to 4y. I don't need 4y's. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So what we have now is x plus 1 over 4, and this is the inverse of the f function, right? So that's the inverse of the f function. Remember now that what the question really asked us for was for us to put 11 in that function here, right? So we're going to put 11 in the inverse function, which means wherever the x is, I'm going to put 11. So instead of writing x plus 1, I'm going to put 11 plus 1, and then this will be over 4. This is 12 over 4, which is 3. I could respond by saying the inverse of f of 11 is 3. There we have it. Let's see what the other question is. All right, so the other question we're finding, we want to determine the value of h of 1. Let us write back what the h function actually is. The h function was given as h of x is equal to 3 raised to the x. So that is our h function. Now let us write what this really means. So if I'm going to do h of 1, what it really means is that I am going to find the value for h of 1. So I'm going to be working this way. I'm going to first find the value of h of 1, and whatever number I get, I'm going to insert it into the h function. So let us find h of 1 right now. H of 1 would mean that I'm going to put 1 where the x is in the h function. So it is 3 raised to the x, it's going to be 3 raised to the 1. 3 raised to the 1 is just 3. So h of 1 is actually 3. Let us take a look at what we had intended to do. Our intention was to find h of 1. But at this moment, we do realize that h of 1 is 3. What it means then, I'm going to substitute 3 for h of 1. So in this case, I'm basically finding h of 3. So as you could see, I'm going to put 3 in the place of h of 1. And then technically, I'm finding h of 3 in the end. What does h of 3 mean? Let us look. H of 3 means that 3 will be raised to the third. What this really means, it means 3 times 3 times 3, and this is 27. Let me write and conclude. H of 1 is actually 27. Right? And there we have that. Let's take a look at the other problem. In this other problem, we were given a table of values, as you can see here. With this table of values, it says, complete the table below and put the graph for the function f of x is equal to x squared minus x minus 2 on the grid that follows. Now, use a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on both axes. All right, let us complete the table first. What it means here is that I need to find the missing value there and the missing value here. So let's take a look. This is the function. It says f of x is equal to x squared minus x, then minus 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to insert negative 2, which is my x value. I'm going to insert that in the f function. So technically, I'm finding f of negative 2. What that means is that negative 2 will go where x is in the f function. So it's going to be negative 2. Then I'm going to square it. Then I'm going to write that negative sign. And then I'm going to substitute x as negative 2, as you could see. Then take 2 for it. Then let's take a look at what happened. What I really did was I put negative 2 where the x is. So everything else would have come back. Let us just finalize this. This actually becomes a 4 plus 2 and then minus 2. And this, what this means is that we have 4. So this is 4. All right, let's do the other one. For the other one, we're gonna find f of 0. So let us take a look. F of 0, which means wherever x is, I'm gonna put 0. So 0 squared minus 0 minus 2. As you could see, this is just minus 2. So we have minus 2 here. Now, after we do that, we're going to set up our axes and then we're going to plot the points. Now, let's plot the points. Right? Now, here we have coordinates here. So these are coordinates over here that we need to work on, x and y, x and y. So let's plot them. For example, -2 works with 4. But let's put on our axis first. This is, let me get a bigger marker. All right, like this. All right. This is 0, then 1, because they did say 2 centimeters to represent 1. So 1 of this is a centimeter. So for every 2, we're just going to put 1. So we have 1, then 2, then 3, then we have -1 here, and then this is -2 here. Going up, this is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then underneath that, we have -1 here and -2 there. So remember, the scale says 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on both axes. Be advised that each of these is a centimeter apart. So after every 2 centimeters, we're counting by 1. Remember, when you're plotting coordinates, you have to plot the x, then the y. The x comes before the y. So -2, 4 here would have been -2. So I'm going to follow this, go up to where 4 is, and it is right here. Then -1 with 0, -1, 0 is right here. Then 0 with -2, follow the 0, go down to -2 right here. Then 1 with -2 is right here. And then 2 with 0 is right here. And then what we have lastly is 3 with 4, which is right here. So what we want to do is that we want to quickly plot our graph. Now, we're going to have to create a curve. It's a smooth curve. Do not use a ruler to do this. It's a curve, so we must use our freehand and just try to turn it nicely. So let us go. So basically, that's me using my freehand. It could be a little better, but sometimes it's difficult to draw them on screen. So there it is, that we have our quadratic curve. And you would have gotten full marks for that. See you next time. The maths concept. Please like the video, watch, subscribe, and share. Thank you.